Welcome, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. Could we do a roll call, please?
Berlin.
Here.
Buckles.
Manzullo here for recorders.
Chaplin. Chaplin.
Here. Sorry about that. Here.
Rogan.
Here.
Hart.
Here.
Healy. Henry.
Yeah, Quinn's on there.
There a second ago.
Treasurer Henry, I think you're on mute.
Might be having technical difficulties because she was in a second ago.
Yeah.
Petrarubis.
You're on mute, Chris.
Chris, you're okay. Just say something. No? Put your thumbs up.
Mentrick.
Mark Box here for Mendrick.
DuPage.
Mary,
Member Ozak, can you hear us?
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
Rutledge.
Here.
Solomon.
Here.
And I see Treasurer Henry has joined us as well. And let the record reflect that Mr. Petrarubis is also here. Okay, we do have a quorum. Thank you, everyone. Nothing under chairman's remarks today. Do we have any public comment? Okay, with no public comment, let's move on to item 5, the approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting from Tuesday, September 8th, 2020.
So move Chaplin. Second, Solomon.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, and we do need to do a roll call on every item, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed to a roll call.
Berlin.
Here. Yes.
Buckles.
Abstain. That was
Chaplin.
Aye.
Rogan.
Aye.
Hart.
Aye.
Healy. Henry.
Aye.
Petrarubis.
give us a thumbs up, Chris.
Aye.
Mendrick.
Aye.
Ozak.
Aye.
Rutledge.
Aye.
Solomon. All ayes.
Thank you. That is approved. Moving on to procurement requisitions, I'll entertain a motion on TEP 25420. Recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Johnson Controls U.S. Holdings LLC to provide and install a clean agent fire suppression system for the IT data center.
So move Chaplin.
Second, Rutledge.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Berlin.
Aye.
Buckles.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Rogan.
Aye.
Hart.
Aye.
Healy. Henry.
Aye.
Petrarubis. Mendrick.
Aye.
Ozak.
Aye.
Rutledge.
Aye.
Solomon.
Aye.
Thank you. That item is approved. Moving on to item B, I'll entertain a motion on TEP 256-20, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Gartner for the annual subscription of Gartner for IT leaders.
So move Chaplin.
Second Ozog.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Don, just for the group's edification, I know we got some questions from other members not on this committee. Do you want to give us a brief update on this item? Just explain a little bit more. I know there was a question on why I think only your name is listed.
Yeah.
It's actually a subscription that anyone within the department can use.
Correct.
And I know Gartner firsthand, it's a helpful tool to help us really vet some contracts from an IT standpoint. So I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Just said again, it's anybody in the department can use it. Typically, it's our leadership group, probably about 10 people. And, again, it's about risk. And when we buy things and we buy services, we want to vet them as closely as possible. Gartner has a lot of access to research and advisory pieces that we can't get unless we pay for them. So the subscription allows that to happen. And it's certainly been worth our while, especially with some of the larger contracts like the Acela permitting contract, the Tyler tax contract we ran through them. And what we run through them, what pieces we run through them are the technology pieces, not the legal piece. The legal piece is still handled by the state's attorney, but the technology piece, they're very complicated terms and they're ever changing. So it's something that we use Gartner for.
Thank you. Any other questions on this item? Seeing none, let's do a roll call.
Berlin,
Aye.
Buckles,
Aye.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Rogan,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Healy, Henry,
Aye.
Rubus,
You put the thumbs up.
Hendrick,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Rutledge,
Aye.
Spellman.
Aye.
Thank you. The item passes. Moving on to item C, I'll entertain a motion on 2020-242, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Infor Inc. for Micro Focus Cobalt annual maintenance and support.
So moved, Chaplin.
Second, Rutledge.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Member Ozak, did you have a question?
No, sorry.
Seeing none, let's proceed to a roll call, please.
Berlin,
Aye.
Buckles,
Aye.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Rogan,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Healy, Henry,
Aye.
Rubus, Hendrick,
Aye.
Bozak,
Ozak, yes, aye.
Rutledge,
Aye.
Spellman.
Aye.
Thank you. The item passes. Moving on to item D, I'll entertain a motion on 2020-243, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to the Illinois Department of Innovation and Technology to provide lead circuit network at the Sheriff's Department law enforcement data.
So moved, Chaplin.
Second, Rutledge.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Berlin,
Aye.
Buckles,
Aye.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Rogan,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Healy, Henry,
Aye.
Rubus, Hendrick,
Aye.
Bozak,
Aye.
Rutledge,
Aye.
Spellman.
Aye.
Thank you. That item passes. Moving on to informational items, I'll entertain a motion to approve and place on file item A, 2020-241, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Granicus, doing business as Granicus, for to provide a software platform which is used to send out the county's newsletters.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Member Ozak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to know what this is actually for. My assumption was that this newsletter was put out by our PR people, and I'm questioning $25,000 to put a newsletter out when most of us have access to social media, et cetera. And I want to know what this contains. What do we need this for?
Don, do you want to walk us
Sure,
through that,
we'd
please?
be happy to do it. So this is for county board staff and for our, it is our public information people. It's the platform itself. So it's the web-based product that allows the staff to generate the newsletters and then send out to the list. So it's that automated process. Is the back end of this is Granicus.
And in addition, Member Ozak, I hear your question. I think part of the reason why there's a need for a platform and why it's so expensive is that it's really a data management piece as well.
Yeah.
All of the names and emails, phones, et cetera, that people have provided to the county and that serve as the basis of our email newsletter that needs to be managed and stored. So that's my understanding of it. Did you have anything else?
I'm really not clear on why that can't be done in-house. I mean, you can do templates from Word for putting newsletters together. And I would guess the mailing list is 5,000 to 10,000. Is that something reasonable?
I see Evan Shields is here. He can answer some of the
The
questions.
mailing list is actually 56,000 emails. So that's a little much for us to try to do something in-house.
But if you had the database, wouldn't that be, I mean, this seems to me like it would be a one-time consulting fee to set it up, so it could be done in-house.
I wish it was. Unfortunately, that's not how the software license works. But Evan, anything else you want to add to that?
I'm happy that Wendy reminds me, if we sent that out with our email system, we'd be blacklisted and none of the mail would go through. You need a service like this to be able to get through to the list. And that's what Chairman Hart is talking about. The list is key. Those names are key. And getting them out and getting them there successfully is why we have something like this rather than just sending it out using the county's email system.
And Member Ozak, do you have anything else I want to give you for your time? I see there's some other hands up though.
Go ahead.
Okay, Member Solomon, and then Member Chaplin, did you have a question as well? Okay, question, Member Chaplin.
Me first. Yeah. Great.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Member Hart. I just wanted to make sure there is sort of a spam part of this that we're maybe not thinking of that is way too much for one person to manage. So if you haven't worked in a business where you're sending a lot of communications out, there's a lot of laws about how that works, and having a system like this that can track the, unsubscribed and make sure it actually gets done. I don't want to underestimate how important it is to have a tool that allows us to do that. Getting sued for spam violations is expensive. I can tell you that as someone who's had that fear in their work life. And also, I think 56,000 is a large amount of data for a CRM, and it would be incredibly expensive, I think, to have that managed in-house and have someone whose job it is to review those sorts of things and make sure we're legally compliant. I think this is a much more cost-efficient way, and it also gives us a little bit of a liability shield to make sure we're communicating in a way that's legal. So I'm very supportive of this. Thank you, Member Hart.
Thank you, Member Solomon. Member Chaplin, and then Member Ozak, unless there's anyone that hasn't gone first and wants to ask a question. Member Chaplin, please proceed.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, so you said this is emails and this is hooked up to our phones as well? Did I hear that in there?
I may have misspoken.
So let me explain. This is our Gov delivery system. So when you join our website, when you access our website, there's a thing up that says, do you want to receive newsletters?
Right.
You can join that with your email. I don't think there's a text feature on it. There may be. But you can join it with your email. And so it manages that list. And whenever the public information officer has something to send out, all they have to do is click one button and send it to all 56,000 people. And like Ms. Spellman said, that's a way also to let people unsubscribe automatically. And as Chairman Hart said, we can't manage that ourselves because we would be blacklisted from sending emails to anyone if we sent 56,000 emails out. It wouldn't even allow us to send. I think our limit is, it is, Joe, it's like.
It's something like 100
Yes.
or 250 in an
One
hour.
individual, right, 250 emails from one individual an hour. In fact, the state attorney's public information officer, we've had to work with him because his email's been blocked from sending emails when he sends out a bunch of, when he sends out a bunch of emails. So this is an important system.
Okay, so I guess it'd be up to the board to see if they want to continue, because this is not really for this committee, but I'd like to see the content of our newsletter really have valuable information of what we're doing rather than it's a lot of what we put on our Facebook page. So I think that might be a discussion for another committee. So okay, thank you very much.
And then thanks, Member Chaplin. I know I've been had a response.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the content that is put out. So we have 23 distribution lists. It's not just the county board office. It's also coroner press releases. It's state's attorney press releases. It's the environmental division. It's animal services. We have a wide variety of people that are using this system. It's not just county board, but there are a few, I'd have to check to be sure. It's either 4 or 5 people who have permission to send out their own individual newsletters or press releases, whatever it is they may be doing.
Is OEM on that list too?
OEM is not on the list.
Okay. Member Ozak for the second time.
Thank you, Chairman Hart. Is this, I assume this is not the health department's communication? They have their separate communication system?
They have something separate from us.
Okay. And my other question is, what is the bidding history on this? I mean, was Salesforce one of the players for this or bidders for this contract? What was the bidding history?
Who can answer?
It was a county board procurement. I don't know. I know we looked at it. We've had them for several years. So I don't, Member Ozak, I don't know.
I think that's something we can get to you if we don't have that information right now. By County Board Member Ozak.
Yeah, I'd like to know if I'm not clear it was bid. It says competitive bid, but is this a renewal? It's not a renewal, or is it a renewal?
And I think the requirement It doesn't have to be bid out.
Anything, any IT
Under
software
35.
$35,000 does not need to be competitively bid according to Illinois statute.
Okay.
Regardless, though, I think we can take that and give you that information on Rozak.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, go
I
ahead.
have one. Why is this listed under informational items instead of procurement requisitions?
It's not an IT procurement. So it's another department procuring it. When that happens, all we are is we're receiving and placing on file. We're not approving the procurement. So it would have been another committee, and I think their parent committee might be finance. Senator Grogan, yeah, so I think that's why. That's why.
So just
We're not the parent committee to them.
So why are we voting on this at this committee?
It's receive and place on file.
Just placing it on receive and place on file.
It's so that we've received notice that somebody's procuring an IT solution and gives the IT committee an opportunity to comment on it. Lest, I don't know, somebody be buying an Apple product where we need to use all Windows.
Suppose that's how it came about.
Any other questions, comments on this item? Seeing none, let's proceed to a roll call, please.
And to be clear, it's to place on file.
Place on file, approve and place on file, correct.
Receive. Receive and place on file.
Yes.
Berlin,
Aye.
Buckles,
Aye.
Kaplan,
Aye.
Grogan,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Healy, Henry,
Glenn?
Aye.
Katarubis,
Thumbs up.
Hendrick,
Aye.
Ozak,
Aye.
Rutledge,
Aye.
Spellman.
Aye.
The item is received. and placed on file. Okay, moving on to item 8, which is discussion of strategic plan update. Donna, Wendy, I'll turn it over to you.
Stand here so I can talk a little bit without the mask on. I will go through the 4 items rather quickly. These are our strategic plan initiatives for this year. We're back on track with the quarterly update. First item that we're looking at is the implementation of the tax administration system. That has been pushed off to Q4 2020 at the behest of the implementer, Tyler. Obviously, the pandemic has greatly affected our timeline. So we're waiting to start the project. And again, it's scheduled to be a Q4 start. Next one, please. The next one is our cybersecurity initiative that we have on pretty much every year because cybersecurity is so paramount for us. The projects this year that we're looking at is to complete the wireless access point security modules, which we're getting there on. We're scheduled to be completed in Q4. And then multi-factor authentication, which we're in the process of putting or implementing currently. And then our phishing awareness campaign, which we're always doing.
And that's Okta, right?
Okta, yes it is. The third project is to provide GIS shared services. Again, a continuation of an initiative that we've had for several years. Ongoing services with Lyle, that's a contract that we have. We've done a fair amount with Lyle. We've done a fair amount with Woodridge Fire Protection District and a fair amount with some other partnerships and townships. It's been largely successful. We've been able to move our players around in the GIS division and obtain some time for them to do this, so it's worked out for both parties. And the final piece is working with the Northeast Illinois counties, working with our Northeast Illinois counties on the opioid crisis. A number of different discussions going on. Chairman Hart, I know, is very involved in this. And one of the big things that we are doing, I want to point out, is the inventory and review of existing opioid incidents that we're trying to get mapped and shared. And again, we're not down to the house level or the individual level. It's a very a summary layer, but certainly a worthwhile project. And that's it.
Any questions on the strategic plan? Just from my standpoint, I appreciate the IT department's willingness to work with us on the whole task force angle. I know it's been incredibly helpful to different municipalities and families, so thank you for that. And of course, if anyone has any thoughts or feedback after this meeting that would be helpful inputs to the strategic plan, don't hesitate to reach out to Don and myself. I see Member Ozak has a question. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you don't mind, I had one other question about the PR, the newsletter. Is that for an unlimited amount of newsletters, depending on which group, which department might need correspondence sent out? Is that unlimited, or is there a limit on how many pieces of information can be sent out throughout the course of the year?
I believe that is unlimited.
Okay, I'd like more information about that before finance, if possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
10 minutes, all right. We'll get that information. Okay, seeing no other questions on the strategic plan, I'll move on to old business. Is there any old business? Member Chaplin.
Thank you so much, Chairman. So I know before COVID, I had asked for like a spreadsheet of our contracts, like all of our license contracts, all of our software provider contracts, because we have so many and it's so hard to keep track of them. And we do, a lot of money flows through this committee. So just for I don't know if that would be something, you know, that things have calmed down now that the department has time to do, but I think it would be helpful for the committee to get that information. Because sometimes it seems like we're approving the same thing over and over and over again, but I'm sure it's with different contracts with for other departments. But I think that would be really helpful. So I don't know if that can be done or not.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be helpful, as you said, Member Chaplin. So I think provided that it's not too much work for one unit team, we could work on that over the next couple of weeks and get some committee in here at the earliest convenience. That'd be great.
And I know you did ask for that. I apologize. And obviously, I don't know where it was in the pandemic, but thank you for realizing it's been crazy busy.
Yep, I understand.
So yeah, something we can do. We actually have, we have those things as part of our budget, so we can put that together and show the current, what the product is, what maybe a brief description on what it does, and who the current vendor is and where we are in the contract.
That would be great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And in fact, why don't, once it's done, maybe we put that as an agenda item at a meeting, we can walk through that.
Sure.
As a
Sure.
whole.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Any other comments or questions? Or any other old business, excuse me? Seeing none, any new business? All right, without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.